The New York Times has a long video in which they do a very good job technically of breaking down the question. We're not going to show it because it's too long. Breaking down the question of whether the shooter in Minnesota was hit by the car. I'm sorry, whether he was knocked over. They really have a fetish for whether he was knocked over as opposed to hit. But I do recommend it to you because they do a good technical job of showing all the angles, whatever. It seems like he was hit, but not necessarily knocked over. Again, I don't know why they're concerned so much with whether he was knocked over. Axios, really important reporting here by Mark Caputo and Alex Eisenstat, 107. People have created this false choice. Is Trump going to double down on defending his immigration policy and the ICE operation in Minnesota, or are they going to change things? And the answer is both. And great reporting from Mark Caputo and Alex, which is a poll that they got back in December shows, but that the public polls show, which is this is not popular. And so what I think this reporting suggests is what you're going to see, which is they're going to continue to be on the offense. Homans last night on Fox said, why don't we have a public display of people who heckle and challenge and bother and assault ICE officers and publish their names and faces. And they're going to continue to talk about all the people who've been killed by illegal immigrants in Minnesota. But I think you may also see them trying to get television pictures that bother the president less. And this article's right. The president doesn't like to see that violence on camera, both politically and attitudinally. So there's that. If you haven't read Bob Rubin's op-ed piece in the Wall Street Journal about why business leaders are not speaking out, I strongly recommend it to you. Bob doesn't speak publicly all too often these days, but it's a very strong piece. Here's some reporting, I think, from Bloomberg 112. This is a really important and interesting development. 112, please. Exclusive. The U.S. will convene dozens of foreign ministers from allied countries next month to pursue an agreement to reduce their dependency on Chinese critical minerals. This is, in some ways, the most important issue on earth right now. If you think the most important issue is competing with China and beating China. So this meeting's interesting. And of course, next week is Davos. The president has 2 interviews next week on Tuesday night with News Nation, and then Joe Kernan is interviewing the president. The president's speaking at around this time on Wednesday in Davos, around this time Eastern time, and then giving an interview to Joe Kernan. So we'll have 2 Trump interviews to look forward to next week. And then finally, here's some new polling data from 2 more things. Here's some new polling data from CNN, in line with all the other public and private polling data we've seen. 58% say President Trump's first year is a failure, of course, 4 days away from the anniversary. 55 say his policies have worsened economic conditions. 32 say they've made an improvement. 64% says he hasn't gone far enough to reduce the prices of everyday goods. And only 36% say the president has the right priorities. Some of my Democratic friends would ask who those 36% are. And then lastly, on Venezuela, the CIA director, apparently, according to the New York Times, this is 118, went down to Venezuela and had met with the Venezuelan interim president. Quote, the high-profile visit, which could be seen as snubbing the opposition, you think, comes nearly 2 weeks after the U.S. military seized President Nicolas Maduro in a raid. All right, you each get to comment on one of those topics. Larry.
On the New York Times article and the analysis of the video, they literally say in their subhead that they did a millisecond by millisecond analysis of the video. It's atrocious and unfair. Law enforcement officers and ICE agents do not have the benefit of millisecond by millisecond hindsight. And so the analysis, no matter what forensically it proves, does not get in the mind of an agent who fears for his life.
Yeah,
and
I had the exact same.
These are humans.
I had the same reaction. I'm not sure what they think they were proving. Jaime, one comment.
Yeah, I am very much so watching this critical minerals discussion. You guys know, and I say this all the time here, I think China is one of our, if not the biggest threat to our democracy and to the world. And one of the things, and I can give the president some credence, but I think his focus on preparing the country to fight against China in whatever way it is going to be really important. I'm happy he's paying attention to it. I thought for a few months that he just wouldn't do anything around this issue, but it seems like he's taking it more seriously. I'm happy about that. China's getting bigger and stronger every day, and a China and a Russia and a North Korea partnership is not good for anybody. And so I support the president in preparing us to take on China and to emerge as the world superpower in a strategic and smart way. But it's happening really, really fast.
Yeah.
And this critical minerals discussion is in the center of that.
Well said. Cozy Earth, our sponsor. They've been our sponsor for a long time. 20% off everything on the site right now with the promo code two-way. This morning, we showed you a little puppy who had swiped the owner's bubble cuddle blanket. And I've warned all of you, you got to buy 2. Well, here's a household that needs to buy 3 because here's another puppy, same household. This is Penny, Polly's roommate, and she also likes the bubble cuddle blanket. Penny and Polly both, and told by the owner she also likes the striped sheets. So buy yourself 3. If you got 2 dogs, you're gonna have to buy 3. The bubble cuddle blanket, favorite of animals and small children. Jessica, your 12-year-old would love this, I guarantee it. Very soft. Towel sheets, everything now, 20% off on cozyearth.com. Use the promo code Mark for 20, or two-way rather, for 20% off. Start the new year off right and give your home the luxury it deserves and make your home the best part of life. Head to cozyearth.com, promo code two-way.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and two-way tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.